That's great. Meet Yumi Nu, a cover model for the new Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. She's replacing last year's model, Yumi Old. So good. Now, for those of you under the age of 75, Sports Illustrated was once a magazine that covered sports. It was the most popular magazine read by men. Now you can't even swat a spider with it without the spider calling you a Doesn't hit newsstands until Thursday, but it's already creating more buzz than a lodged vibrator in an emergency room. Took forever to remove.
Okay.
Yumi says she's proud to champion body and race diversity, fine, but psychologist Jordan Peterson dared to criticize, tweeting, "Sorry, not beautiful, and no amount of authoritarian tolerance is going to change that." Peterson has since quit Twitter after all the backlash, which raises the question, aren't we entitled to an opinion, especially if it's a publicly consumed product designed for generating opinions and controversy? Or is it better to say nothing than take a risk and say what a lot of people are thinking, like Peterson did? The cover does meet one goal. It punishes straight men who prefer completely unrealistic as opposed to unhealthy body types. The old school covers were to give you a glimpse of a woman you couldn't get anywhere near in person, especially after that restraining order. Now to the views ladies feel they could also be on that cover.
We feel at this table that we could also be on the cover of Sports Illustrated. We leave it in your hands. We understand, because we're not on anybody else's cover either, but we're just saying.
Now, that would be historic as the first swimsuit issue created especially for the blind.
A sexist would say.
That is not funny. A sexist is not funny. Cat. You're very young. I'm going to tell you about Sports Illustrated. The magazine would come out, they'd have a girl on the cover, and we'd all argue if she should have been on the cover or not, because it's a matter of subjective, like, attractiveness. Some people think people are better looking. I always loved Ellie McPherson, and if she wasn't on the cover, it pissed me off. Why is it wrong to have an opinion that says, I'm not attracted to this person?
Because you have to be attracted to everyone.
Yes, especially if they're obese.
I don't know how you feel, like, bad for her. Like,
No.
she's a 25-year-old model.
Right.
If she wanted to lose weight, she probably could. I can't go back to being, 25 and no longer having my email flooded with people telling me to have kids before it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was more inspiring in some ways to see Elon Musk was on the cover, his mom.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's 74.
Was she on the cover?
Yeah, she was on. There was like a series of covers. She was on one of them. And it just sends the message to women everywhere that you don't expire when you're older, and you can still be considered beautiful when you're older.
But Kat,
and all you have to do is give birth to the world's richest man first.
These are message covers.
Yeah.
These are covers that are trying to convey a message. This is not for the reader. The reader.
That's like the meanest thing you can say to somebody, though.
Yes.
That's way meaner than saying, like, I'm not attracted to her. Like, oh, you're only on there because it sends a message.
Yes. Well, I mean,
Well, that's the world we live in.
That's what, when we were growing, we're roughly the same age, early 40s.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
When we read Sports Illustrated,
Kathy Ireland.
It was for the view. It was for the reader. Now it's for the advertiser, or it's for the peers in editorial. This is not. So when the reader used to look forward to getting the Sports Illustrated and seeing Kathy Ireland, they'd go, "Wow!" And now it's like, "Oh, it's a message. I'm supposed to be earnest. I'm supposed to digest this information intellectually and not just want to go in the bathroom and."
And okay.
I don't know where I was going.
And
I know where you're going, and I think I'll take it from here.
Yes, thank you.
You can have two thoughts.
Right.
We always talk about having two thoughts in your head.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, Peterson was right. And I'm 370 pounds, and Peterson was right.
Yeah.
I'm in a battle my entire life to stay away from the 400-pound monster. Okay? And if she's beautiful, and hey, a lot of us fellas, we like them thick. Ain't tripping.
Yeah.
And some of us don't, but that's not the point. The point is if she is comfortable like that and doing that, good for her.
Right.
But when you promote that message, and this is why Dr. Peterson was being a doctor, and saying that if for example, if she had cancer and she took a cancer picture and said everyone should have cancer, no one would applaud. Everyone would be like, why would you put that on people? Obesity kills more people than COVID.
Yeah.
Obesity doesn't go anywhere. And we are getting into this generation to where instead of trying to improve ourselves, we're saying, I'm fine, everyone else has the problem. That's the message. So for example, I'm put it on me, right? I lift weights, I do everything. I played football, wrestling. I'm a big guy. I'm in a weird genetic percentile, right? I don't fit in any of the charts. But I would never put upon my children to gain weight. I would, if my kids were eating chocolate cakes every day and saying, Daddy, I want to be big and strong like you, I'd be like, no, that's bad for you. It's not good for you. Because I'm at my best when I'm under 350 pounds. When you're heavy, you don't feel good. And I guarantee that if any one of the people in the struggles with being overweight could really tell the truth, besides when you're in the mirror or every time you sit on a couch, you find a small pillow and you put it right here, they would say they're not happy too. But because we're living in a time where if a doctor asks you your weight, he's wrong. No, he's a doctor. And when you have someone who's a physical trainer who's a biscuit away from 400 pounds because they spend their whole days doing selfies like this to make themselves look skinnier, there's a reason why all the pictures are like this, because they're not happy. And this is saying, like, it is okay. So there's two sides of this. Good for her for wearing that, but to promote it is not, I don't agree with it. I agree. I'm going to go with Dr. Peterson on this one.
There you go. What do you say, Emily? You know, I was denied being on the cover of Hot Guy Monthly. Did you know that?
No.
No, because I was too hot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. So I'm going to be on Extremely Hot Guy Monthly next month. I'll sign a copy for you.
I'll look forward to it.
After drinks.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I remember. Wait, oh God, I just got that. No thanks, no thank you. Look, I disagree with everything. Here's why.
Okay.
I think she's gorgeous. I think the whole thing about everyone saying that they want Kathy Ireland or Elle Macpherson on the covers, that's a small slice of the pie. That is those nerds that want to hang out in the basement and have a certain ideal as beauty.
How dare you?
Exactly.
We like physical beauty, the
She's
apex.
beautiful too. I think she's beautiful too.
But you're a lady.
Okay, but the Jordan Peterson thing, he wasn't kicked off. Like, what he couldn't take, he could dish it, but he couldn't take it. He said the level of vicious insult in response to him saying that she's not beautiful, that he couldn't take it. So to me, he's the biggest of them all.
Wow.
I think she can rock on forever. I love this. I hear what you're saying about the health aspect, but we don't know that about her. So until we do, I'm going to support and applaud her. That's how I feel strongly about this. Probably because I was part of the mechanism, you could argue too. I was an NFL cheerleader.
Yes.
So I know what it's like to be held to a certain standard, absolutely, and that's why I champion and support anyone who is outside of those ideals that is given that shot.
Yeah, worse, you were a cheerleader for the Raiders.
You mean even better?
Greg, can I ask you a real quick question?
Yeah.
Because I also, in football and stuff, if you didn't make weight, you could get cut or get fined or whatever. How would you feel, though, doing all that work to be the best you, and then next season you come in and they decide to just bring someone in just because they need to fill a void who doesn't do any of those things?
Yeah, we had a 5-pound limit on both sides. We couldn't lose more than 5 pounds from our weigh-in weight, nor could we gain more than 5. So, I mean, it went in both directions. But I hear what you're saying, which is, you're saying, if I was being replaced by someone who they felt checked a box, yeah, that would absolutely hurt. I mean, of course.
And that's all. That was my point.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. Last word to you, TW. Play it safe.
Sports Illustrated, it's all about the articles. I mean, that's really why people. It's the articles.
No.
Stop there, TW. You always learn to leave on applause.
Beautiful girl. That's all I'm going to say. Beautiful girl.
Excellent.
You're going to do well in politics.
Yes, exactly.
Me, not so much.
Coming up, wives aren't having fun telling husbands what must be done. Nice. That was great. I did not see that coming.
I'm surprised you didn't. I felt so strongly about that.